Hi, and welcome back after a long hiatus to another episode of Laying It Out. I am Chelsea Pockets.
And I'm Scotti Dempsey.
And yeah, sorry we haven't talked to y'all in a while. I think our last episode was actually a Club Natties preview, which would suggest that we would have a Club Natties recap of some sort, but we didn't do that. I think our schedules around that time were super hectic. Was that when we were puppy sitting?
Yeah, we were puppy sitting. Actually, it might have been right before we were going to do something together. But, puppy sitting might have been right before, but then, I don't know. I feel like the holiday season and, both of our jobs picked up and that, and simultaneously Frisbee died down. I had a lot of, family obligations that just, I don't know. All of a sudden recording the podcast and more importantly, coming up with content for the podcast was if you want to hear me talk about trying to fit all of my family obligations in, see people, see my boyfriend's family, celebrate all these different holidays around the club season, great. But aside from that, not very interesting podcast content wise.
I was doing, so if you don't follow us on Instagram, my parents got a puppy and Scotti was going to come down or up for you, up to Connecticut to watch the puppy for a week while we both worked from home. And having a puppy is like having an infant child. We were just constantly watching. She's really cute, but she's chaotic. She still farts really badly. She weighs 10 pounds and lets out the worst farts I've ever experienced in my entire life. But yeah, that was chaotic. That was around when after Club Nationals. And then just there isn't much Frisbee after that, at least especially for me. We had my one update was that I played indoor fall league, which was once a week. And Sponge tried indoor Frisbee for the first time ever, and he hated it because it was just too condensed and too quick moving. He couldn't do his normal sit in the handler space and just throw whatever he wants. So that was new for him, and that was kind of it. But same as you. But now, and you might know as the title of this episode, which at the time of recording we haven't come up with a clever one yet. But we are going to lay out or throwback, depending on which podcast host you talk to.
Yes, and or. I'm going to throwback, so then you can pretty easily deduce that Pockets is going to lay out. I'm going with a group of my club team friends and, flying out Friday night. Really excited. Playing the 2 days, got an Airbnb. Should be really fun. Never done it before, so we do bring on my real life friend and also one of our first friends of the pod, Connor, to give us some layout survival or what to not to do tips, since he is a self-proclaimed non-layout. Survivalist. Yeah, is that the right word? I think he survives, but doesn't maybe thrive.
He doesn't make it to the Survivor season finale. He participates. Yes. No, it was fun interviewing him. I think I vaguely met him. I didn't want to bring it up, but he'll listen to this. I think I met him at College Nationals when you and I both went. But he was drunk and I was coaching and in the middle of a game. So I think I vaguely saw a man smiling in a hat, and I was like, hi, goodbye, I need to call lines. I think that was him.
He probably was. That sounds about right.
If that was someone else, though, I'm sorry. Every time I have a in-person interaction with someone that knows who I am, through the podcast or through Twitter or whatever, I think back to that Am I the Asshole post that got submitted that was about me, completely ignoring someone at a tournament. And I just think about that every single time. Do you remember that?
I do. That's really funny. Pockets is the asshole. She ignored me.
I'm a little bit, well, okay, I was thinking about like tweeting this and then I was like, I don't care enough. But if you like do see me at LeiOut or any other tournament, there are a few important things to remember. One, I have a resting like bitch face or sad face. There's something wrong with it. It doesn't look happy.
I also always look sad.
Yeah. Scotti looks sad. I look unpleased. Two, I'm just shy and not very good at small talk. And then three, I'm very bad with faces and names. There are a few people, like, this is not a real life example, this is an internet example, but they have vaguely similar Twitter names, and then their profile pictures is them playing Frisbee. So I mix them up constantly, and I have a lot of people who I think are the same person. So I'm just not very observant, and I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. I'd rather like come up, introduce yourself to me. But also, I don't know. I feel like we've met a lot of people who, or we haven't. I don't know. We haven't gone out to the West Coast. I was gonna say we've met like most of the people who I think would approach us, but like,
well, we went out to the West Coast for college nationals, but that was it. And then again, I think we talked about this. You met a lot of people because you were like floating about to many different fields and you were reporting, but then I was coaching, and then also just like coaching is a little stressful. Calling lines is very stressful.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I wasn't in the zone. I think I met one person, and it was like a very random interaction where he was like, "I think I know you." I'm like, "Do you listen to this?" He's like, "Yes." And I'm like, "Do you want a sticker?" He's like, "Yes, please." And then that was it.
Perfect. Yes. Yeah. I mean, that sounds about right for most of the interactions, but I don't know. Any 2023 resolutions for you, Pockets? It could be Frisbee. It could be general life. I know I've got a couple.
I was trying to think of, so I saw this TikTok trend where you write your resolutions on a bottle of champagne and you like pop it when you hit that milestone. But a lot of my resolutions aren't really like measurable in that sense, where it's like, I want to try out for a club team and compete well, like finish the season well, but that's like a team goal. I want to be consistent with my workouts. I've been good for like the first 3 weeks of January, but no.
This is the second week of January.
This is the second week of January. I've been doing it for 3 weeks. I started after Christmas. There we go. I've been consistent for 3 weeks. But that's not like something you can measure because like you should give yourself a little leeway if you're not feeling well to do less workouts in a week or something like that. But then I was thinking of something. I found out how you can find your overall miles moved on your Fitbit for the last year. And I think it was, I forget the number, but I think I'm going to try and go for like 800 miles recorded or something like that. That's going to be my measurable goal. And
okay.
I'm going to pop the champagne cork at that one.
Yeah, I like that.
What about you? What are your goals?
Yeah, I also saw that TikTok, and my roommate actually said it to me too, and I was like, I just, it's like, make a club team. Like, that's something that you can't do, you can't really impact yourself. Like, you can do the best you can, but at the end of the day, it's not like finish, like what the girl had on TikTok had, like, finish a triathlon. It's like, that is something that is like solely like your achievement. Anyway, mine are a lot more like again, they're like softer and they're less like, I feel like less quantifiable, but I think a lot of it is going to be, and like, this is something I've always been good at, is like celebrating the little things. Because I just like always love an excuse to throw a party, but like to that end, I'm like, okay, like what else can I like focus on and then like celebrate like the small victories? That way, like I feel more compelled to like just keep working in the same direction. So I joined a gym. Yay! It was in Manhattan. So now I'm like, okay, well, I'm financially obligated to this. I paid for the whole gym membership up front. So it's like, okay, like this has been paid for. So now it's like, I should go like, right now it's like once a week. Well, I would like to go 3 times a week. Right now it's been once a week, just like coming back from Christmas. And then like having, guests throughout the past holiday week and weekends. So a lot of people have been wanting to come to New York, and I'm more than happy to host, but it's just like takes away from my like, okay, arms, back, like abs, whatever. I'm trying to lift more, and I'm trying to like stay focused on at least being in the routine of going, like you said. And I want to try to get up and go to the gym before work. So that way, like, I know I will feel better when I come back and shower. And if I decide to work from home, then like I'm both like energized from working out, and I'm like clean and I'm like ready to start the day. Or if I want to go into the office from the gym, that's just as easy because I can shower at the gym. So it's like that type of measure I think I'm going to try to implement, especially while it gets dark so early. And if I go before, the New Year's crowds rush in around like 4 to 6 p.m., I'm hopeful that like that's what I can achieve at least like through March, right? And then like when we get into March, then it's like time to start cracking down. I am doing Winter League, which is outdoors, but between going to Lei Out and then I'm actually going to Portland the next week to visit like one of my best friends who lives out there. I was already be on the West Coast. And then it's like I'm planning a ski trip, and then I'm going away with my boyfriend for Valentine's Day. And it's like, well, when am I actually going to play Winter League? So, oops, it's on a Saturday. But I think just trying to like integrate more of a balance into my life that'll like both make me like playing Frisbee more, and then also then I will play more Frisbee and fine tune like the little things that will help work together to make it overall better.
Yeah, no, I like that. I'm kind of in the same realm you are, where it's just trying to get into consistency. And then once like it hits like that April, March, May, that vague 3-month time period, hopefully I'll be in a routine. It'll be really easy to just fill in Frisbee into some of those like lifting day gaps. Yeah, and then hopefully we'll transition into a hot club season.
I know, big gains for this year, hopefully. Expected, forecasted, who's to say?
I did think of one other, also not really measurable, but like important goal, and it also kind of goes into a transition for something I wanted to promote. So I would like to be just kind of more vocal about social things that I care about, if I'm saying this in a way that makes sense. Like I want to speak up for people in our community that I care about. And also just with this podcast, we've kind of talked about this, trying to uplift some voices that might not always be heard. So there was one thing, an open letter in support of USAU's gender inclusion policy that started going around Twitter. We retweeted it on the Laying It Out Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, I think it's also on the Reddit r/ultimate page. It's been shared on some Facebook pages that I'm in, some of those like larger general ultimate Facebook pages. Or you should just be able to access, I think you can access Twitter without an account. But basically it's a group of transgender and non-binary ultimate athletes got together. They wrote out this letter to USA Ultimate, basically in response to some of the disc golf news around transgender athletes that has come up recently. I read it. It's really only about a page. They're just asking people to sign with their name and their USAU ID to kind of mark that it's a real life person. For your support of this letter, saying, hey, USAU, your current gender policy is honestly like we approve of it. We respect what you've said in the past. So if you can kind of re-release that statement, let people know where you stand on gender inclusion in the sport, and then also some further action for creating push in WIFDIF to kind of expand their gender inclusion. Also creating a community of transgender, non-binary athletes working with USAU to kind of expand that gender inclusion as well. So we shared that letter on our Twitter, signed it. We would like our community, our listeners, to also sign it as well. And they've also added a section for disc organizations and teams. to sign it too, just kind of as a group, showing that this whole group of people supports this letter as well. So you can kind of start that conversation amongst your team and your community to kind of get that going as well. But yeah, that's just something I wanted to share. And it kind of goes in with my betterment for myself for the new year to speak up about more things I care about.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Pockets. I'm personally not online on Twitter anymore. I'll check it every once in a while, but obviously there's things happening all the time that I'm bound to miss, especially when I'm having a particularly busy time in my life. So thank you for, helping us make that platform bigger and, even like letting me know that it's a thing so I can go over and sign it as well.
Yeah. Not everyone is constantly online like I am. So so with that, I think we'll move into our interview, correct?
Yes. We'll hop over, take a quick break, and we'll introduce Connor, and we'll talk about all things layout, throwback, what me and Pockets are expecting, anticipating, what's going to be different from Wildwood, and we'll catch you over there. Hello, and welcome back from our quick little break from our intro. Today, we are joined by our first ever friend of the pod, Connor Dougherty. I kind of became Twitter friends with Connor because he was tweeting about how much he liked our podcast. He was the first person, and I was like, oh my God, a friend. And then I moved to New York, and then I joined the club team that he also had played on. And so now we're friends in real life. So we're super excited to have you on. And Connor and I are actually going to be on the same throwback team. So we wanted to bring him on as our quote unquote expert for all things throwback layout.
Yeah, but also because he's been to throwback, he's been to layout, he's also been to Wildwood, which is the only beach party tournament that Scotti and I have been to. So we're here to break it down, all three, compare them, and maybe get some inside details on how to survive. But Connor, we've been told you might not be a survivor.
Yeah, well, surviving, it's relative, right? Anyway, thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Thank you for coming in. So I guess we'll just kind of jump into it. So you're going to throwback this year. Layout versus throwback. What's the main difference between the two? Or is there any difference?
Yeah, so I actually haven't been to layout since it moved to Huntington Beach. There was the whole drama that happened in whatever it was, 2018, 2019, when throwback took over Santa Monica and bumped layout down to Huntington Beach. So I don't know if there's much of a difference between the two. I think one of the differences that throwback, they have lined fields. I don't know. The tournament director said they were giving us more stuff than the layout tournament did, but I don't know exactly how much difference there is between the two. They're both Beach Ultimate. I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure how much different Beach Ultimate can get. I know Wildwood, sometimes you find an ale in the ground, so I'm hoping that the California beaches are a little bit better. But I was I was trying to compare the both of the websites, throwback, layout. They seem basically the same.
Right. Yeah, I think there's similar sizes. I think layout's a little bigger this year. But yeah, no, you probably won't be finding rusty nails on the beach. Yeah.
Thank God.
The other difference is it's 5s instead of 4s.
I thought it was 4s. I was told 4s.
Uh-oh.
I've never been. You're supposed to be the expert.
Okay. Well, I actually didn't double check this, but I'm pretty sure it's 5s. That's the official size of Beach Ultimate.
Okay. Maybe layout is 4s and throwback is 5s. I don't know. Again, I've never done this before. Mm-hmm. There's one girl in our group chat that has been, she's in charge of it. Mm-hmm. She set us up. Yeah. She told us 4s, and we only have 11 people on our team in total, so I'm hoping it's 4s.
Gonna get a lot of playing time.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, they invited me to this, and I was like, yeah, it'll be great. And then I realized with the numbers, I'd be playing every third point, and I'm like, is January me gonna be okay?
You'll do great.
I was also thinking about doing dry January, and then I was like, oh, can't. I'm going going to LeiOut. Oh well, maybe in 2024.
Maybe next year.
I also drank like January 1st because we had the day off. It's fine.
There's not many good dry months.
No, like, there's not. It's like you could do February, but that's the shortest month of the year. That doesn't feel right. March has St. Patrick's Day. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going on in April. Fool's Fest in April.
Mm-hmm. And then it's summer.
Then it's summer for 6 months. and then it's Halloween.
Yeah.
And then Thanksgiving. And then Christmas.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, I just have to drink all the time. All right. We're getting distracted. So LeiOut and Throwback, they're basically the same thing. And honestly, like looking at both of the sites, they sound like they're going to be a good time. But how does that compare to Wildwood? Because that's the only beach ultimate experience that I personally have.
Yeah, I think the general level of play at LeiOut has been higher from my experience. Wildwood, you'll get like a bunch of like really early, like freshman, sophomore age teams that like are still kind of learning. I think Wildwood's a little bit more rowdy during the games. Like there's not as many people like absolutely hammered on the field. And at at Throwback, there are like these adult teams who like, they're like beach leagues in California. So like there's people who play like all the time. So especially people Northeast who are inside from like November through now, little slower, little like these people are just playing on beach all the time. So they're used to the sand. So yeah, but otherwise it's just beach ultimately.
Okay. I did see the different competitive divisions. It's a little intimidating. And I was also I'm in the 3rd division for LeiOut. And there's some good names in there. Like I think Jesse Schaffner is in the 3rd division. And I'm like, am I gonna get my ass kicked over here? Do you like the different divisions? Oh,
I'm not in charge of our team. I don't know what division we're in. I'm just there to play. It is fun, like being like playing against super high level people, even if it's like just for like at a silly beach tournament. So I'm sure there's a range. People who are like probably not as good, being like, "Oh, we're this good," and then people who are really good be like, "I don't want to try that hard," and we'll jump down. So I'm sure there's a good mix.
A real who's who of American Ultimate. Truly, everyone goes to California to just like go fuck around on the beach. I was gonna say, I feel like LeiOut Throwback it's like less debaucherous than Wildwood, because I feel like Wildwood is like the epitome of just like ultimate debauchery, and like just, you know, between the beer garden and the Bolero. Actually, this past year was the first year I ever went to the Bolero, and I was like, oh, my eyes have been opened to a whole new world of just like people all being insane. And I feel like between there both being 2 tournaments, and then it also kind of like not being, you know, Wildwood, New Jersey, like I feel like it's inherent in the location that you're just gonna get trashy in Wildwood.
Yeah, that was my follow-up question is, does the location have to do with how much people drink? Because Wildwood, New Jersey is probably a lot different than Santa Monica, California.
That's very true. Yeah, Santa Monica is really nice. There is a tournament party. It's not, I don't know if there's like main hotels. Like our team always gets an Airbnb, which is close enough to the party that we go, but it's big dance floor. Not as all like compressed as the Bolero, but yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, speaking of the party, give us more details. Is it worth going? Because usually I skip the beer garden at Wildwood every year, and I don't think except for last year, I've never been to the Bolero. I don't think I've been 21 at Wildwood for most of the times I've been. So I don't even know if I could get in the Bolero.
I definitely recommend the beer garden. And the Bolero is like, it's fun. Like, if I understand people who want to skip it, and that's totally fine, but like, I also recommend the Bolero. The LeiOut/Throwback tournament party, the year I went to LeiOut, there was like an issue with the venue. So we didn't go. Throwback, not all of us went, but I went and I had fun. It's not like drop everything and go, but you know, it's the other people you played Frisbee with. Go hang out, go see people that you played against. It's fun. I don't know.
Squash some beef, on-field beef.
Or rehash some beef, you know? Like, hey, you called that bullshit foul on me. What's up?
You called travel with me on the sand, and I can't keep my feet planted because I never play on sand. What's up with that?
I did that once sophomore year, or the summer after sophomore year. Someone called a travel on me. I was like, what the fuck?
I am a child. I don't know what a travel is.
I mean, I didn't really. That was the year that I still thought you could contest travel, so that was a fun time for me.
Nice little rules argument at a beach tournament. Always fun.
We're great at it. So I saw also, at least for LeiOut, they tweeted that there is a party theme, and it's neon, which I don't have a lot of neon. Do people dress in theme? Am I going to look like a loser if I show up with it?
I can't tell you for sure. I recommend the theme. I love a good theme.
Okay.
I'm very pro theme. Yeah.
So the next one is kind of like a two-parter. So we've talked about Santa Monica. It's obviously a lot nicer than Wildwood. Do people usually venture out into town? Is there things to do there, or they usually stick by the beach and kind of go in their hotel?
No, we go out. There's a lot of good food there. Especially Mexican food, like a lot of good tacos and burritos and stuff. It's a place that has giant margaritas that we always go to that has done me dirty a few times.
Oh no.
Which I plan on going back.
Can you drop the name of the margarita place?
Oh, it's Cabo Cantina.
Cabo Cantina, all right.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. It's giant margaritas. I think like the fourth time we went, like over the how many times I've been, I learned that like the giant margarita has like 4 shots of tequila, and I'm like, oh yeah, I had 2 of these, and my night it took a turn. Would still recommend though.
Oh no,
I don't know if you're.
I'm already dreading going.
Oh, we're going.
I know.
That's a good way to like start the night, you know?
Start the night. Oh no, I'm gonna have to go to bed immediately after. Anyway, yes, Pockets.
And then, I was gonna say, because I'll be in Huntington Beach instead. Is it likely that I'll make my way up to Santa Monica to see you two, or should I just kind of kiss those dreams goodbye because I'll likely be drunk and not know where I am? Okay, yep.
Yeah, I think it's safer to say that you'll probably stay down in Huntington Beach. I guess it depends like when you're getting there and if you have time on either Friday or Monday. But yeah, I've talked to my friends who go to LeiOut and like, oh yeah, we should meet up, and it doesn't happen.
Yeah, every single Lehigh person that I know that is going to this is going to Throwback, and I was like, we should hang out, and then Scotty's getting in too late. I'll already be going to my hotel. And then the other 2 guys, like, they're local to California, but, like, not all local to LA. So I don't know if we'll actually get to see each other. Well, that sucks. But okay, just flying to California. We'll be in the same location as you two, but won't see you.
Yeah, you're flying into LAX, so going in different directions. Actually, I don't know my California geography.
I'm going south. Santa Monica, I think, is a little bit more north of LAX. It's very close.
Yeah, it's very close, which is why we've historically picked Throwback instead of Lei Out.
I will say Throwback maybe has the advantage there. They are very close to the airport, where I'm like a 45-minute drive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So we've talked about your survival or maybe anti-survival skills. The margaritas seem to come into play a lot. What are your packing essentials for survival at these beach tournaments?
The only major difference between other beach tournaments is that LA in January is not as warm as you would hope. It is going to be like 60 degrees, which is amazing coming from like places where it's snowing. But there was one year where I didn't pack socks other than what I wore to the airport, and it was kind of cold. But yeah, people were like, we'll go like leggings on the beach. Like it gets a little windy, so like even long sleeves. Like I would prepare, like obviously not like dressing for winter league, but have like a long sleeve, and you know you can always take it off if it's too warm. But that's the only like major recommendation I have.
What about your like drink of choice for the field? How does that compare to Wildwood? Because my favorite thing to do is to make Haterade, or Scotty calls it Org, where you dump out half a gallon of water, you fill the rest with vodka, and then you put some Gatorade powder in it. Is that acceptable? Is that too trashy? That was too realistic of a vomit noise.
I'm sorry, just the thought of it makes me want to retch.
Just a little self-story there. Sponge and I went to Wildwood last year with like very last minute. We went with a couple was on our summer league team and their college friends, and they're all like 5 or 6 years older than us. So they come with their like nice drinks. Sponge and I walk up, we're just sharing that gallon jug of Haterade, and they're like, "What's wrong with you?"
What is wrong with you? Yeah. Oh man. So anyway, Connor,
I don't think you need to change your drinking habits for this tournament. Yeah, not every team is going to be going super hard, but you know, make your own kind of music.
Okay,
have some fun.
And I know you said like some teams are going to be like bringing the heat. Are there going to be like shotgun for pulls, games for pulls, or is it going to be taken pretty seriously most of the time?
Yeah, you can definitely have some fun pull games. It's not like, I'm sure like there's always someone that is drinking more than others, so someone will be willing to shotgun if that's what you'd like.
Not I personally, but
I would like to nominate someone else to shotgun, so that way I can stand there and cheer, because I am the world's worst shotgunner. Actually, I don't know if I can claim that title. Pockets might be worse than me. I'm like a solid like 3-minute shotgunner.
That's actually a good twist on the game. Like, nominate your worst shotgunner, and those two race for pull.
Actually, that would be fun.
I shouldn't have told you this now. I'm afraid I will have to shotgun now. You will have to witness it.
What's your favorite? I've never seen this one done, but what's your favorite pull game? Because the one that always intrigues me is when they like tape a beer to someone's back and you have to like run away and not get tagged and have the beer taken off of you.
When did you see that?
It's at Wildwood.
Who went like a time limit? Do both people have a beer taped to their back?
Yeah. Each team brings forward a runner, and they tape a beer to their back, and then each team brings forward a chaser, and they chase the opposite team member and try and get the beer off their back and finish it the fastest.
Wow.
There's a lot. You can do a lot. There's a reason I come up with the subs only games too. I have all these creative juices flowing.
Wait, did you come up with that, or did someone else be like, "Oh, we should tape beers to each other"?
No, someone else came up with that. I'm not claiming that. I don't know. Just be like, yeah, can we do the one where we maybe it was a college thing too. We definitely didn't do that in college, but it came up at some point. It's in the back of my mind, and I know I didn't create it.
It's rent free.
Oh.
But then, not to like bring up a completely different party tournament, but also Fools Fest, you're like encouraged to create like a poll game. They don't all have to be like drinking related. Ours was like a game of telephone, but we called it Zoom because it was pandemic Zoom related or whatever. But like, I love creative games like that. Those are my favorite.
Yeah, I don't have many creative ones. I like classics, like do like a handstand for pole.
Ooh.
I do like shotgunning for pole. I don't know that many. Like pokey. Pokey's always a good one.
Oh, is that the one where you're just trying to touch you with your
touch
finger?
The other person with your hands.
I like the non-drinking related ones because only so many people on your team can shotgun, and only so many of those people could shotgun however many times in a day. Like you get it beats you up. You can only do so many. I can't do it at all. Actually,
and then you have to run around.
Scotty and I,
yes.
Oh yeah. We should have a shotgun race at some point. Obviously not now. I don't have a beer. But we should see who is truly the worst.
You're not going to let me fake it either, are you? I always fake it whenever I have to like shotgun with a bunch of people.
You fake it?
Yes! I'm always like, oh, I'm done. And then I like walk away and finish it on the side. Because I don't want to have everybody else like watch me be like... So I just fake it.
Scotty, no. All right.
Anyway.
So what, besides packing essentials, do you guys have a team uniform that you'll be wearing?
I believe Scotty will be designing our
stencils.
Yep. Stencils, yeah.
I was wondering, I was like, is it going to come in time?
No.
Do you want to reveal, it's not going to come in? Do you want to reveal your design, or is it secret?
I need to draw it still. So speaking of it not coming in on time, that is something I need to do today, is sit down and like draw it out. But, as I think anyone who like has played any sort of team sport with me knows, or has talked to me, unfortunately, while I'm like a little bit drunk and on one, I'm really into like street art and graphic design and like stencils. So I love making, like, for our Swipes retreat, like beer Olympics, I always make stencils for those. And I made stencils for my Wildwood team, which was Game Point Performance Anxiety. And then, so I'm going to make stencils this year. But mostly because I was indirectly asked. If someone was like, oh, are we doing stencils? And I was like, if you want me to make a stencil, I can just ask. And then the next message, like, just ask. The next message is like, Scotty, will you make a stencil? But I'm a little disappointed. Our team name is Scoober Snacks, but I couldn't come up with anything better. So it's like, not like I can complain, but I have a good idea for the design. I just need to make it and then go outside and spray paint like however many shirts. So that's going to be the fun part, is spray painting in New York City.
Yeah.
When they said, are we doing stencils? I'm like, do you mean, is Scotty doing stencils?
Is Scotty doing stencils?
It was we.
You guys are all welcome that I will make these for you. Just ask me, okay? So yes, so that is our uniform. How about you, Pockets?
Nice. We are Croc Girl Summer. So one of our teammates designed it, and they actually came in a few days ago. I'm going to block her name just in case she doesn't want to be on here. But this is it. So it's like a pink tie-dye tank top with like a croc, a green croc, and it has a little tail and legs and sunglasses on it. It's very cute.
I'm so jealous.
Very happy. I know.
We just get some fucking spray painted t-shirt that I made. Like, I'm gonna bash my own work here, but
Well, not to diss your team, but my team, like, we're pretty organized. Someone got the hotel. I got one of the cars. Someone was handling the jersey. Someone designed the jersey. So we each spread out the love and we organized stuff. And now we have a cool little shirt.
we're pretty organized too.
But you're spray painting your t-shirt.
Minus the jersey.
Minus the jersey. Okay.
I think
team names
everyone,
are tough. Team names are tough.
I think everyone values my spray paint stencils higher than I do. So it's like, you know what, at least there's that. But everyone is also like, Scotti, can you spray paint us team shirts? And I'm like, okay. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
All right. So before we kind of wrap up this main segment, is there anything you wanted else to say about the California tournaments? Any other packing essentials?
The other packing essentials, I think this is just a fun tournament because, especially in like New York, where I'm formerly from, it's like cold and miserable, and there's not many playing opportunities. So like, even though it's like not sunny California, great weather, it's like a really fun like break up the winter with nice little beach tournament. So I'm very excited. One of my favorite tournaments of the year. So, yeah.
Yay! I'm also excited. Well, thank you for hopping on for this interview. Stick around for the subs only, the game that I came up with. So I thought we'll have the two of you split up. I'll be the game host. You'll have to find either LeiOut or Throwback team names that match one of the categories, or each category that I have here, and then I'll tell you who won the category.
Ooh.
So just like give love to a bunch of team names. It's better than just like ranking them like we always do. And also there's usually, like, I'll give you a hint. One of the themes is sexual puns, because you usually find those in like a Wildwood LeiOut Throwback team name. But yeah, we'll have fun with it. So stick around for the subs only. Otherwise, I've been Chelsea Pockets.
I'm still Scotti Dempsey.
I'm Connor.
Thanks so much for joining us. We will catch you on the flip.
Scotty's running late, so I'm gonna record some cat ASMR. Come here, Wawa. Okay, bye, Wawa. That was ASMR with cats.